Let's give the people what they want.
Joker, Folie, Deux was one of the most anticipated movies of 2024, thanks to the massive success of the 2019 film. But even with Joaquin Phoenix returning in the clown makeup, and with Todd Phillips sitting on the director's chair again, the hype-worthy sequel failed to make a mark. The film is not only struggling to earn a profit at the box office, but also earning negative reviews from several critics and publications. While the first Joker was also divisive in its own right, it at least didn't face a Rotten Tomatoes score of 33%. Today at ScreenRant, we dig deeper into all the major criticisms that the new Joker movie has been getting.
The whole time I was watching, I kept thinking, I hope this guy blows his brains out.
Even before Joker Folie Deux opened in cinemas, the backlash against it was mostly negative because of its musical elements. While the first Joker was a gritty psychological drama, Todd Phillips opted to direct the sequel as a jukebox musical. While Joker Folie Deux also doubles as a courtroom drama, its musical elements can't be denied. But even after watching the film in its Technicolor musical brilliance, some critics were unimpressed with this experiment. The songs and musical performances aren't outrightly bad. After all, Lady Gaga is bound to shine as Lee, considering she's a gifted singer. Even Joaquin Phoenix has shown his singing talents before when he played Johnny Cash in Walk the Line. But despite the lead actor's musical chops and the stylish imagery, the musical elements didn't resonate with anybody. Most of these scenes play out as imaginary performances in Arthur and Lee's minds, not adding much to the actual storyline of the film. As a result, the musical scenes end up distracting the viewer from the main narrative of Arthur's ongoing trial. For many critics, the film ultimately failed to use the musical numbers in a way that enhanced the story it wanted to tell. Turning Arthur Fleck's tragic story into a courtroom musical was an overambitious gamble that couldn't resonate with all viewers. For all its merits, the first Joker was also criticized for its derivative influences and confusing moral messages. But still, it felt like a standalone story with Arthur's open-ended fate in Arkham, making for a haunting ending. In that case, Joker Folie Deux is an interesting look into Arthur's trials and takes a jab at the toxic fans of mentally troubled criminals like the Joker. Despite its vision to do something new, Todd Phillips' film suffers from pacing issues and tonal inconsistencies. Even if we don't talk about the musical parts, the 2 hours and 18-minute runtime is tiring and overbearing. This is the reason why critics felt that Joker Folie Deux's demerits overshadowed its merits. It plays out as a stretched and overlong continuation of the first film. When Arthur breaks into emotional monologues in the courtroom this time, his speeches lack the emotional bite of the first one. It's hard to top a powerful rant like Joker's aggressive speech at the Murray Franklin show in the first film. Joker Folie Deux is emotional with its mellowed down Arthur Fleck, but narratively it doesn't have anything new to offer about this morally broken character. Despite Joker Folie Deux clocking in at more than 2 hours, the film suffers from a lack of any new twists. Granted, the courtroom explosion and the ensuing chaos add some momentum to the slow-moving plot, but by that third act, it's too late. Despite the film boasting numerous musical numbers, these songs hardly do anything to add to the plot. This is rather unfortunate considering how eventful the first movie was. Be it Arthur imagining his own delusional scenarios to make him encountering characters like Thomas Wayne and pre-Batman Bruce Wayne, every decision made by Arthur has had a payoff in the first film. In the sequel, there seems to be potential when Arthur first crosses paths with Lee, but since then the film undergoes the same routine of the lead characters puffing on cigarette smoke and singing song after song in their colorful dreams. None of the musical numbers also have any allusions to Arthur or Lee's backstories whatsoever. In between are some court testimonies, but even these tend to get repetitive, with older characters like Zazie Beetz' Sophie Dumond and Lee Gillis' Gary Puddles returning. Joker Folie Deux revisits familiar events from the film, adding nothing new to the largely straightforward plot. While the scenes with Sophie and Gary are arguably powerful, they also rely too much on exposition. The screenplay, co-written by Todd Phillips and Scott Silver, doesn't do much to save Joker Folie Deux from standing out. The anger-fueled courtroom rants can almost come off as too melodramatic and over the top. Even the intense moments between Arthur and Lee elicit mixed responses with dialogues like, "You're Joker, you can do anything." With not many memorable dialogues to offer, Joker Folie Deux has to solely rely on Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga's lead performances. In fact, some of the most praised moments from the sequel are are ones that feature Joaquin Phoenix just changing between expressions without saying a word. Many reviews also criticize Joker Folie Deux as a genre mismatch that can't excel in any of the genres it's trying to take on. As a musical, it falls flat with repetitive songs and underwhelming dance routines. As the courtroom drama, it doesn't have enough legal twist to raise eyebrows. And as a psychological case study, it can't balance the shared madness of both Arthur and Harley. So while it's commendable for Todd Phillips to try taking on multiple genres, the end result is an incoherent multi-genre venture that struggles to find its core audiences. While Joaquin Phoenix had already proved his mettle as Joker, Lady Gaga generated a lot of hype for the sequel, with the singer and actress putting her own spin on Harley Quinn. And while this version of the classic DC anti-hero is interpreted in original ways, some critics complained that Lady Gaga's lead doesn't have enough screen time. While her character seems intriguing with a tragic personal history of her own, she's still reduced to a supporting figure who pops up as Joker's singing partner and passionate lover. There's a lot more that could be done with Gaga's character, considering the French title Folie Deux alludes to a shared madness. It could have been interesting to see if Phillips delved deeper into the toxic relationship between Gaga and Phoenix. Instead, all we get is a passionate affair that ends abruptly once Arthur confesses to his crimes and denies being the Joker. Lee falling for the Joker and not Arthur is an interestingly complex theme that could have been handled better with a more fleshed out love story. To quote ScreenRant's review by Alex Harrison, her role is prominent and involves plenty of singing, but she's firmly a supporting figure in Phoenix's movie. I wish more could have been done with her. Despite the overwhelmingly negative reviews, Joker Folie Deux isn't an outrightly bad movie. Both Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga's lead performances are drawing raves from even the critics who wrote a negative review. Despite the flaws of the musical scenes, the production design and color palette drew praise. Much like the first one, Todd Phillips' sequel manages to establish a contrast between the grim, gritty reality of Gotham City and the multicolored energy of Arthur's imaginary scenarios. Oscar-winning composer Hildur Guðnadóttir's score also earned its fair share of positive reviews, as she returned with her hauntingly beautiful violin music. Some critics also praised how the sequel was more experimental and original than the first Joker. Despite these occasional positive reviews, Joker Folie Deux has undeniably succumbed to negative reviews that have also affected its commercial prospects. While the first Joker was a blockbuster from its very first week, Joker Folie Deux struggled to make only $40 million domestically in its opening weekend. With a budget of $200 million, director Todd Phillips took a major gamble by turning his R-rated comic book drama into a musical legal drama. As the negative reviews suggest, Joker Folie Deux is far from a perfect sequel, but it still has its redeeming elements like the stylish production design and the emotional lead performances. Did you like the film, or did you prefer the original? Thanks for watching Screen Rant, and stay tuned for more movie news.